We learned how functions can work in general. One nice feature of functions is they can do much more than what we previously did. They can receive arguments. This means that in our function, we can expect arguments, parameters, between the opening and closing parentheses next to the function name. And we can use these arguments inside of the function, like that. If we then call the function, we have to pass a value for that parameter, and this is then dynamically injected into the function. So this would actually print hello Max here. Now let's apply this to our blockchain. In add value, we can add an argument, and you can name that argument whatever you want, like val, or value, or transaction amount, something like this. And you can use that value inside of your function body, not outside of it. It's only known inside of it. So we can use that like a variable name here and add it here instead of 5.3. And we could, of course, also use that in calculations or in any operations we perform on it. So this is my transaction amount here. And now, if I save that, and I clear that just to make it easier to read, if I execute the file, we get an error. We get an error that add value is missing one required positional argument, transaction amount. And we also see in the IDE, we got these red squiggly lines. The reason for this is, obviously, add value requires this data to work correctly. So we have to pass it. Can pass 2.9, 10.89, for example. And now if we save that file again, and we execute it again, now this works, and now you see that our values are indeed inserted. 2, 0.9, 10.89. This is now taking advantage of the fact that you can pass arguments to functions. And if you have a look at this append function, the strange thing still is that we call it on a list. Well, that has something to do with objects and methods. We'll have a look at this later in the course. But in its core, it's a function. And there you can see we also pass an argument, right? We pass the argument we want to append. So append actually also is a function that takes some input.